Hello again, this is once more Dr. Jimmy, and somewhere lurking behind me is Bob the evil cat. Ah, there she is. I knew she'd be there. There she is, right. Right, where did she go? She was somewhere. I thought she was there. She just ducked behind the air conditioner, and she went that way. Oh well, evil cat is evil. Well, here we are. Part 9 of Horror Nights History for the Year 2019. I see the paw of the cat. You can just sort of see the paw of the cat right about in the corner here. Here it is. Yeah, right there, right there, right there. Cat. Cat, cat, cat. Cat. She's up to something back there. Anyway, as I was saying, and again we have the problems with the light differential, but I have a way of getting around that. Hello. That's scary. Oh, look here. I don't normally wear t-shirts for any symbolic reason, meaning or hidden meanings, and that's hardly hidden, is it? Actually, it's pure coincidence that there's a connection between that shirt and what I'm about to talk about, which is, of course, continuing the stuff is, my brains are leaking out. Continuing with the events of Halloween Horror Nights 19. This is my 9th video on that event which occurred back in the 2009. And it took only a day, not a whole another year. Actually, it was more than a year. There we go. Put the light on up there so that you can see me a little better. Now, it was more than a year ago. It was October of 2014 that I did part 7. So, my God, it was like a year and 5 months or something. A year and 4 months. Something like that. Since in between the videos. And I still got a bit of a something going on. So, my goodness. Anyway. Well, so yesterday's video, part 8, I did talk about Saw. But I didn't say where it was. Oh, well, I was a bit under the weather, and I forgot to mention that the house was located in the Jaws extended queue area, which is located, of course, somewhere in Diagon Alley nowadays. Actually, my best guess, if you go to the Hopping Pot and get yourself some butterbeer or some, if you're over 21, some Dragon Scale or Wizard's Brew or some of that fire whiskey, a little shot of that. And what I like to do is to order some of those like one of those other drinks. You're not allowed to order them already made together, but you can order the one thing, like the there's a sort of orange fizzy, and I think there's like an apple fizzy and a couple of other drinks. I forget what their names are, but you order one of those and you get a shot of the fire whiskey, and you can actually dump it into the other one. They can't do it for you, but you can order both of those, the one non-alcoholic and one alcoholic drink, and then you can put it together, and it makes rather nice that way. But anyway, but they have lots of things there. And they have packets of crisps and other stuff there, that little Hopping Pot. And I think that's pretty much in the same basic vicinity of where the extended queue area for Jaws would have been back in the day. Not exactly 100%, but pretty close, I think. So when you go back on the other side of Bill and Ted, going off towards the what are now apartments, you would duck in to the left, and there would be an entranceway into the Jaws extended Q area building, and you would go through that, and that was where Saw was located. And some of you have only been going for the past couple of years, that is, you've only been going to Horror Night since 2011, you've never even seen that area. So, but they had many glorious haunted houses there from 2006 to, I think, 2010, I think. Was that the last one? The last one, I think, was Sores and Steam. When was that? 2011? Somewhere around there. I think so, 2011. That was right. So if you've only been going since 2012 and you don't know anything but The Walking Dead, you've never been through the Jaws houses. So that's where Saw was. In fact, there was a bit of a joke we were making as soon as we heard that. Well, never. No, I'm sorry. I got myself mixed up with a different year. Never mind. But yeah, Saw was in the Jaws, which rhymes. And it's funny because, of course, eventually they had Saws in Steam, and so it became Jaws in Steam in 2011 actually. So you have Jaws and Saws. Jaws and Saws seem to be connected somehow in a weird way, isn't it? I'm not completely well yet. So let's move on then. I was doing the IP houses because, of course, as we know, and again, well, I can move it up so you can see it more clearly. As you remember, it was a rather intellectual property heavy year. Of course, we have those all the time now, but back then that was kind of unique. And well, they always had intellectual properties, but in 2009 was one of the first really heavy intellectual property years, where the whole event was focused around intellectual properties in a way that never happened quite so strongly before. And so when we had no idea it would be the sign of things to come, when they would use those intellectual properties to sell the event rather than the icon. You know, the usher never appeared in a television commercial, didn't appear on any billboards, did appear on the alternate brochures, and was definitely a presence in the park. But it's really it really was in many ways the sign of things to come. So, I wanted to do the IP houses first, and I've done the first 4 of them. So, you know, from Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, the classic 3 Universal classics, then Saw, and so what's next is, of course, our dear little friend Charles Lee Ray, right here. And Friends to the End. Chucky, Friends to the End, which was located, and this time I remember, in Sprung Tent number 1. Yes. And it's kind of amusing. Let me double check here, yes. The name of that house is on this shirt, pretty much, because you have a picture here. It says here, Friends to the End. And that's amazing because this shirt, of course, was not sold in 2009, but rather in 2014. When there wasn't a Chucky house, although he did make a brief cameo appearance that year. You never know. So, and it was the same sprung tent, oddly enough. But the house was called Chucky Friends to the End, and they set it up as a gigantic good guys box. A big yellow box like the toy would be in from the original movie. Of course, the house was based on the Chucky and Child's Play franchise, and there have been numerous films. Hold on a moment. Recently got this. I haven't even opened it yet. But but recently got this. This is a Blu-ray box set. Blu-ray box set of the whole damn Chucky thing. It's called Chucky Complete Collection, because I've all of my everything was on DVD, and I upgraded all at once, all the Chuckies at once, including the one I hadn't had yet. So, and here is Child's Play, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, that gets a bit sticky, and Curse of Chucky. I've never seen Curse of Chucky. That was direct-to-home video here in the United States, although it had a theatrical release overseas. And so I have all 6 of the current Child's Play films all on one Blu-ray box set, so that'll be fun. Of course, back in 2009, Curse of Chucky hadn't happened yet. But there was the other 5. I think had all been out by then. I'm pretty sure. I think Bride of Chucky was back in 1998, and I think Seed of Chucky was only a couple of years after that. That's of course it was. It had Britney Spears in it. Aye, aye, aye. And John Waters. That was funny. Oh, dear God. So, based on those Chucky films, and of course if you're familiar with the films, and if you're not, go watch them, or you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Excuse me. All of which, except the very first one, Child's Play, were released by Universal. And Universal has the rights to them, except for Child's Play, the very first one, which I think was released by MGM United Artists or something, I believe. Although they reclaimed, well, no, actually they have both. That's interesting. It's a Blu-ray box set, but this is intriguing. Here on the bottom, Universal and MGM. So, for years, whenever you got a DVD set of the films together, they didn't include the very first one. Somewhere I had an old DVD, and I think I still have it. Yes, let me show you this. Even though I got the Blu-ray, I haven't replaced all of my old DVDs. Why? Because, goddamn, look. See, it's got this really nice three-dimensional. See, it's three-dimensional packaging. It's just too awesome. You can't just toss that. It's just too cool. See, it's got a knife and a gun and an axe all here, and and this only a couple. This is the old DVD, but now I got it all on Blu-ray, which is much better for the picture and all that. But you see, it has the films Child's Play 2 and 3 and Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, but not the original Child's Play, because at that time, even though this is the franchise collection, Universal and MGM apparently, I like this on the back too, because look, it's sort of like peekaboo. See, there he is. But you see, back then, it says Universal, right? But no MGM, because they weren't able to work out those rights issues. On the new Blu-ray, Universal and MGM were able to come together and work out a deal to put it all together in one package. And that's cool. So, the house, of course, was based on all the films. They didn't have those issues, just went ahead and based it on Chucky. But it was not based on any previous film specifically. It had a totally different storyline. Chucky took over a toy factory, basically, and perverted the toys to his evil will to take over the world, I guess, world domination. So you're going into a good guy's factory, and you go through a giant good guy's box, and Chucky's up in there, ha ha ha, and you go up through there, and you go into the famous spinning vortex This famous spinning vortex has been going on for bloody ever at Universal. I don't know when it first appeared. I think sometime in the 1990s. And it's been used many times, many times. If someone, really want to take some anal painstaking time to figure out exactly which house it has been in every year for the past 25 years, I have no idea. But even I'm not that anal. But you go through that at some point in the house, but very often they put the spinning vortex into the sprung tents in recent years for, I'm not sure why reason, but they're not exclusive. They can move it around. But it was there, I believe that. In fact, last year it was in a completely new location, of course, in the Shrek theatres where they had a house this past year. But going into Chucky, you find yourself in the good guy's factory, and you start out in a warehouse filled with those yellow good guy boxes all around you, and Chucky is in there smiling, and some of them are the good guys that look normal, but occasionally evil twisted Chucky with the scarred face. Look, is he one of those wolves from Walking Dead? Because it's got a W on his forehead there. No. All these come popping out with pointy knives, and they cast people, of course, who are diminutive. Not necessarily little people, but shorter girls especially were playing Chucky, which means Chucky's a cross-dresser, a drag king. Anyway, and I knew one of the girls who played Chucky back then used to come out and scare me. It was quite fun. And leaping out of the window boo-hos with the shutters, I love those, pop out, with a knife. Lots of fun. And then you get into some of the more twisted world of evil toys. That isn't just Chucky. For example, you go into a famous Beanie Baby, little stuffed animals, plush toys, filled room, and then there'd be one big heap of them lying in the corner, and you think it's just a heap of stuffed animals, but it leaps up because there's a character inside. And then, of course, one of my favourites, the barrel of monkeys. So the whole room is filled with, like, a jungle theme with lots of bright colours. And then the monkeys, the barrel of monkeys, come to life and come popping around. But they're hairy and furry, but gigantic apes. And then the incredible Green Army Men. Of course, Green Army Men, life-size Green Army Men. On a big tank with Chucky as the general wearing a helmet, and they're firing on you, the Green Army Men. Lots of fun. I love that. So it's more of a camp, funny house, but again, it's like toys. Toys, and of course there's some creepy doll room, because dolls can be so fucking creepy. And you go into the creepy doll room of Barbies and other kind of dolls, and of course there's some really nasty stuff written on the wall, graffiti, like Barbie is a bitch, and it's signed Tiffany, although she didn't actually appear in the house, but that was the homage to Tiffany, some graffiti insulting Barbie, calling her a nasty slag or something. So you've got all of this sort of stuff. So that's what I really liked about the house. Wonderful homage to a veritable toy box of fun. And I've pretty much used up all my time, and I've only gotten through the house Chucky Friends to the end. But I really like the house a lot, because I've always been obviously a fan of Chucky and Child's Play, and obviously really dug the house. And I do say it did have a bit of the humour and comedy worked into it, although it was not the only sort of tongue-in-cheek house that year, as we'll get to in a bit. All right, next time, the last IP house of the event of 19, which of course was the signature house for the icon, Silver Screams. So that'll be next time.